Hi guys, my name is Tiffany and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about my fashion career and how I got started and what I currently do. So if you guys want to learn a little bit more about that, please keep watching. So my career in fashion started in 2015 when I got my first internship at an independent fashion magazine. And that came to be about actually when I was attending college, the first college I went to after I graduated high school. I was getting my bachelor's in business management, and I felt very lost on what I wanted to do with that degree. Like, of course, business management, you can do so much with that degree, but I didn't feel confident about pursuing this degree without knowing for sure what my future career goals were. So I did some research on what I can do with this degree, and I read so much about so many people who have a business management degree that they were actually able to get into the fashion industry. And I was like a light bulb that went off for me when I read that, because if you watched my Q&A video, you would know that I mentioned that being in the fashion industry was something that I've always wanted to do. I just didn't know what part of fashion I wanted to do or even how I was going to be able to get into it. So I kind of talked myself out of it. But once I read that I can get into the fashion industry with this degree, I set a game plan. I was like, okay, I'm getting into the fashion industry and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So I started researching about, how I can get started. First thing that pops up is get an internship. So I started looking for internships, and that's how I came across the internship at the Independent magazine. So what I did at that magazine was, one would think, you wrote articles, you attended all these different events, and yes, I attended events, but I did not write any articles. This particular magazine, hers was a submission based, so a lot of independent photographers and models were actually able to submit their content to be placed in her magazine to get features. So for me, I helped out during the Fashion Week. So I worked behind the scenes or even in front of the house. So I was in charge of, checking in the models, checking in the designers, checking in the guests, making sure everyone felt welcome. That's if I worked front of the house. If I worked in the back of the house, I was in charge of, helping the designers unpack their garments, making sure the models were okay. And then when it comes down to the show to start, I would dress them. And then I also did work photo shoots. So of course you can't really work at a magazine without having some experience working at the photo shoots. So of course the photo shoots, same thing, making sure the photographer was okay, making sure the makeup artist arrived, the hairstylist, the model, checking to make sure that everything's going smoothly, getting the model dressed, making sure she didn't get any makeup on her garments, stuff like that. So I started working there February of 2015. I started working at the magazine February 2015. Um, and I did end up leaving the college that I was pursuing my business management degree in. I think I left maybe at the end of 2016. No, I'm sorry. I left at the beginning of 2016. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna continue working at the magazine and really see where it goes. Of course, my mom and grandma were not happy about me not being in college. Of course, they were happy I had the internship, but they was like, you need a college education. So that's when I decided to take online classes, and I started pursuing my degree, my associate's degree in fashion merchandising. The reason why I chose fashion merchandising was because I really enjoyed, dressing the models, putting the outfits together, especially if we did the photo shoots where the models would bring their own clothes. So there were, for sometimes like if models wanted to do a photo shoot with us for the magazine, and they didn't have a designer, the editor in chief would actually say, okay, bring like any nice gowns that you have, any business attire that you have, and we'll like do a several theme photo shoot. So if we had any models who did that, I was the one in charge of helping them put the outfit together and really make it like an entire look that can be shot. So because of that, I decided to look into becoming a stylist. And one of the things they said to becoming a stylist was getting a degree in fashion merchandising. So that's kind of how that came about. So I was pursuing my degree, my associates in fashion merchandising, and I had the internship. All was going great. And then I would say maybe coming towards the end of 2017, I just felt a little stuck again. And it kind of confused me because I thought, okay, everything was going great. I had this great internship. I was learning so much. It was going great. I've been here for almost 3 years. And I'm going to school. What more can it really be? But I think I felt stuck because I was there for almost 3 years, and I was ready for something new. I was ready for new knowledge and new experience. And that feeling came at the perfect time because my counselor did let me know that I needed an accredited class, an accredited internship for the class that I was one of the classes that I was taking. So it came perfect timing. So I ended up leaving the magazine and I got an internship at a PR showroom in Soho. So at this PR showroom, we'd worked with several different emerging designers from all over the world. So Korea, Italy, Japan, Ukraine, Russia, you name it, we had them there at the showroom. So with the designers that we had, we would have stylists and bloggers come into the showroom. So if a stylist was styling a celebrity for like a red carpet event, they would come to the showroom to pull like some gowns or shoes or maybe even some jewelries. We had influencers who may have like been attending an event or maybe they needed new content for their Instagram. Or also they were going on a trip, that was okay. Or maybe even if a stylist was working with a photo shoot for a magazine. They came to us, pulled what they needed to pull, did what they needed to do, shot the content, got what they needed, and then returned the garments back to us, and then we will also get the content. So we were in charge of, making sure the samples were okay going out, the samples were great coming in, checking in the new designers that came in. If a designer was leaving, checking them out. When the content came through, especially an editorial feature, we got that back and we sent it to the designer. So that was something that I was really learning and experiencing. And I met so many different stylists and I was able to network and get a lot of pointers on how to make it as a stylist in this industry. And I thought, okay, this is perfect. I'm learning so much. I'm getting knowledge that I need. I'm now doing my second internship and I'm getting my associate's degree. Everything was going good. I graduated with my associates and I actually went back to school about maybe 5 months later after I graduated to get my bachelor's in fashion merchandising. Um, and same thing, I was loving it. And I'm still at the PR showroom. I actually worked there as an intern for about 3 to 4 months. I would say maybe 3 months. And then they made me a full-time employee. So that was great. So I'm working at the showroom. I just got one degree, working on another one. And as I'm working through the showroom and like learning the ropes of PR and also, getting pointers and tips from the stylists, I realize I'm enjoying PR a little bit more than I think I would have enjoyed working as a stylist. And that's not to say, I wouldn't have been happy as a stylist, but there's something about working at that PR showroom that really just clicked for me. And I realized this was it. Like, this is what I wanted to do. But of course, I was like, you know what? I'm now pursuing this second degree to help me in the career of being a stylist. Let me not give it up. So I kept talking to the stylist, kept networking, kept getting partners from them. Then, when the company that I was working at, they hired a new PR director because they wanted to take the PR showroom to like a different level. And because I didn't have the PR experience, they hired a PR director. She had about maybe over 10 years, I would say, experience in public relations. So she really came in and like helped me, helped the showroom, helped the company. And while her and I were working together, because I was in the PR showroom and she was the PR director, we worked together like all the time. And she really gave me pointers on making it in PR. And it wasn't until working with her that I said, I can't pursue styling. Like that's not what I wanted to do. That's not what I want to do. That's not what I'm passionate about. That's not something I can truly see myself doing. Like, yeah, like I'm good at putting outfits together, but so I'm sure like an accountant is good at putting an outfit together. Doesn't mean they're gonna go pursue styling. So I was like, okay, I am getting this bachelor's in fashion merchandising, and I'm too close. I was so close to graduate. I think I was like a year away from graduating, and I was not just gonna drop out that easily for it. So I continued with my bachelor's in fashion merchandising, but I said, okay, once I finish, I'm gonna go get my master's in public relations. So I was working under the PR director. She ended up leaving. Then I ended up leaving the company towards the end of 2019. Of course, 2020 came, a whole bunch of craziness was going on. So then I started Exquisite Slay, and I was also starting my master's in public relations. Last year, while working at a retail job, the owner of the PR showroom that I worked at from 2017 to 2019 called me and said, hey, we're closing down this company, but I'm starting another PR company. I would love for you to join. And I felt great when she asked me that because one, that goes to show you that she truly admired my hard work that I put in at the other company. And she knew that I wasn't just going to be someone that she would have to monitor over 24/7. So, and it also came at perfect timing because I was almost done getting my master's. So it was a perfect timing. So I started working at the company in last year, and now here I am a year later, still working at the company, still pursuing PR in a sense. And I do now have my master's. So now I have 3 degrees, my associate's and bachelor's in fashion merchandising, my master's in public relations. And it's so much, but I say all this to say, don't be afraid to start off as an intern because you just never know where it can take you. And also, don't be afraid to give those internship jobs your all. Most people say, oh, it's an internship, you don't really have to work too hard. Yeah, you do. Because if you work hard, you never know what can come out of it. So now here I am at this PR showroom, and we're still in Soho. And it's been an amazing experience working at this one versus the other one. Not to say I didn't get a good experience at the other one, but this one's a little bit different because I'm more hands-on in the PR showroom. Um, this time around, like I get to set goals. I get to make plans for it. I get to say, okay, you know what? I see this particular design that may need a little bit of help, so here's what I suggest. And the owner is okay with the ideas that I'm coming up with. I want to say because one, she saw my work ethic from the other showroom, and two, I now have a lot more experience. Plus, I have the degree to back up what I'm saying. So that makes it also even better for me because now I get to take my experience and the knowledge that I've learned and really utilize it to help make this new PR showroom great because it's only a year old. So we're still learning, we're still growing, but I definitely see it going in the right direction, and not just because of what I'm doing, but because the boss is also more open to different things for the showroom. So that's a lot, but there's definitely a lot of things that you can do to get into the fashion industry. You don't necessarily have to start out as an internship like I did. You can start off with retail and maybe work your way up to the company. So you may start off at the storage. You can probably end up at the headquarters. You can even, there's different like boot camps. So some celebrity stylists does do boot camps where you can like learn learn from them and see how it works. You can even shadow some celebrity stylists to really see how you can work. You can get your degrees like I did, and there's visual merchandising, there's fashion marketing, fashion PR, like what I'm doing. There's really different ways you can do it. There's also, of course, fashion design, fashion modeling, and there's also event coordinators. So you may think event coordinator, no, that's only for like party planning. No, there's actually like fashion events that take place a lot. Like you would be surprised at how many fashion events actually take place. And that's something you can consider. If you love putting events together, but you also love fashion, that could be something that you can look into. So there's so many different avenues in the fashion industry that you can go into. So don't give up if being in the fashion industry is something you want to do. Do your research. Don't be afraid. And like I said, don't be afraid to start out as an intern. Like, you can really work your way up and grow a name for yourself in this industry by being an intern. And before you know it, you'll be like, you could probably be like a freelancer doing different things. If working on your own is kind of like what you want to do, you don't really want to have to report to somebody all the time. You could be a freelancer in the fashion industry. There's so many different things you can do. So make sure you do your research. If you guys are interested in me doing a full video on the different careers in fashion, I'll be more than happy to do that for you guys. Just comment down below or write me on Instagram. But that's just about it, about just like my fashion career, how I got started, how I got into it, and what I'm currently doing. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Bye.